Tonight, people in Boulder are rallying against a Supreme Court decision that delivered a blow to transgender rights. The court ruled to uphold Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors, which includes transition surgery, puberty blockers, and hormone therapy. Colorado protects transgender care.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the state won't feel the effects of this ruling. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause explores what the 6-3 ruling means.
I was expecting something devastating, and that's what I got.
Maya Blassingame woke up feeling frustrated after seeing news about the Supreme Court's decision this morning.
It hurts because as an adult, I have access to the care I need that saved my life, right? I'm a trans adult, but I was a trans kid once. I knew I was transgender when I was 3 years old, and I wish I would have had the resources available.
She's not alone. The 6-3 ruling is expected to have a broad impact in the 25 states that have enacted laws barring gender-affirming care for youth. Angie Reeder at Inside Out Youth Services says while the ruling won't impact care for Coloradans, people seeking services may feel a ripple effect.
But what we also will see is an increase in young people coming here out of state. And so knowing that our services, as Ollie had mentioned, across the state are already diminished, they will further be stretched because we will have people now fleeing states.
Ollie Glessner says gender-affirming care options for minors have been shrinking, with few options outside Denver.
Our community, especially being in Colorado Springs mostly and not in Denver, we don't have as many options to find this care.
Ollie says this decision will hit Colorado's LGBTQ community hard.
There's still going to be fear. There's still going to be heartbreak. There's still going to be and ultimately our goal is really to stop that from happening.
Maya says the fight isn't over. She'll keep pushing to make care accessible for all.
This is a people issue. It's about freedom. And I should have the freedom to bodily autonomy and to make the rights for myself. And as families, we should have the rights to make right for our families and children as well. And that's being taken from us.
Maya says they're planning a protest Saturday at noon at the state capitol. And while Colorado does still offer gender-affirming care for minors, some major providers already stopped or limited services. Denver Health and UC Health announced back in January that they'd stop gender-affirming surgeries for those under 19 in order to hold on to federal funding. We reached out to both today, and both indicated their plans for care would remain unchanged. Rachel Krause, 9 News.
It's important to know when these rulings happen, how they impact everybody across the country.
Yeah, and a lot of folks here in Colorado are really going to feel those impacts.
All right, thank you, Rachel.
The federal government is ending a specialized service to the 988 suicide prevention line that focuses on LGBTQ youth. The service will no longer be operating starting July 17th. The Department of Health and Human Services says the general 988 service number will still be available for anyone experiencing a crisis. According to federal data, more than 14.5 million people have contacted the 988 lifeline since inception, and we know nearly 1.3 million of those calls or texts were routed to the LGBTQ support line.
The federal case against the man accused of attacking people in Boulder with Molotov cocktails is moving forward. This afternoon, a judge ruled there is enough evidence against Muhammad Solomon. He is accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at a group of people who've been peacefully marching in support of captives in Gaza. That attack happened June 1st. 15 people were injured. Several of them burned. An FBI agent said in court today one of the victims is still in the hospital with burns to more than 60% of their body. Solomon is also facing multiple state charges, including attempted murder.
Let's get you a live look outside at none other than Coors Field. Just a glorious day there. The Rockies will be back there on Friday hosting Arizona, and fittingly the weather will, well, feel like a typical Arizona summer day, hitting 100 degrees. Let's check in with our chief meteorologist, Kathy Sabin. I know I'm hot just thinking about it.
I know. Let's hope the Rockies stay hot, just like the weather. Yeah, we have a heat advisory that's going out for Denver on Friday and Saturday because of the record triple-digit high temperatures we're forecasting, and this extreme heat can be dangerous for man and for beast. So we've got to be careful and remember lots of fluids, lots of shade, and just nobody, no kids, no pets, anything in a car for very long when we have weather like this. Winds kicking up a little bit, nice little bit of a breeze after a calm, quiet day. Yesterday was crazy with severe weather. Today, quiet statewide. But the air quality quality, not so great. So an air quality alert is in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures have come up 70s and 80s along the Front Range. Really just a nice afternoon. Tomorrow, these numbers are going to jump another 5 or 10 degrees, and the wind will be increasing as well. So concerns for high fire danger with a red flag warning, fire weather watch already going out tomorrow for areas across the western slope. The storm that brought all the mean weather to us is well off to the east, so those traveling east are going to run into travel delays across portions of Kansas, Nebraska, up into the northeast. Around here, a lovely temperature trend for anything you might want to do outdoors this evening. Coming up after a calm and mild evening, we're going to talk about record high temperatures for the summer solstice and for your weekend. All of that just ahead.
We now know who was driving the wrong way down I-25 for miles, leading police on an unsuccessful pursuit down the highway. The Denver Medical Examiner says Jaylene Miramontes was behind the wheel that night. She drove the wrong way down I-25 south from Meade to Denver in the dead of night on June 8th. Police tried to pursue her to get her to stop. They were unsuccessful and eventually called it off. Miramontes crashed into an oncoming car just before the Spear Boulevard exit. She died at the scene. 4 others were injured, including a toddler who was in her van.
The college student from Utah, arrested by ICE agents in Mesa County, is now out on bond. Caroline Diaz-Calvez was taken into ICE custody after a traffic stop in Mesa County last week. The Mesa County Sheriff's Office pulled her over on I-70 on June 5th. Releasing her with a warning for following too closely to a semi-truck. Well, shortly thereafter, federal agents arrested her and took her to the ICE detention facility in Aurora. The sheriff's office said the deputy who stopped her was in this group text with federal agents investigating immigration status. Diaz-Calvez was born in Brazil and brought to the U.S. when she was 7.
Aurora police say a man is in the hospital after being shot through his front door early this morning, and now they're looking for who may have been responsible. Police are looking for a vehicle, a blue SUV that may be a Jeep. It has a chrome rim and 3 black rims. The car drove away from the house located on 17th Place near Colfax and Airport Boulevard. Just before 1:30, the victim says he heard knocking on his door, and when he went to the door, a shot was fired through the door, hitting him in the leg. He's in the hospital, expected to survive. If you have any information, contact Metro Denver Crime Stoppers.